Everyone wants to be stronger, not just physically, but in every part of life. But between confusing workout advice, complicated equipment, and trying to figure out nutrition, where does anyone even start? Well, to get stronger mentally and physically, go to Anytime Fitness. You'll get a personalized training, nutrition, and recovery plan, all customized to your body, your strength level, and your goals. You'll get expert coaching to optimize your results, anytime, anywhere, in the gym and on the Anytime Fitness app. And you'll get anytime access to 5,500 gyms worldwide, all with the right equipment to level up your strength gains and your life. So get started at AnytimeFitness.com. That's AnytimeFitness.com.
The holidays are here, and that means it's the most wonderful time of the year to save with Rakuten. Use Rakuten to stack cash back at your favorite stores on top of holiday sales. That's savings on savings. With Rakuten, you get cash back on gifts for everyone on your list. From toys for the kids, to kitchen gear for the person who loves to cook, to electronics for everyone. You can even save on something for yourself. Just shop the stores you love and cash back is automatically added to your account. And you can get paid with gift cards, PayPal, or check. Or eligible American Express card members can even choose to earn membership rewards points instead of cash back. It's truly a no-brainer. Join for free today and get a new member bonus after minimum qualifying purchases. Just go to Rakuten.com, download the app, or install the browser extension. That's RAKUTEN. Terms and conditions apply.
AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Oh, Musso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. Now you turn it. There. Sorry, Muse. Don't worry about it. We just do it 3 times a day, every day, 5 days a week.
Yeah, I moved my hand. I kind of flicked the fader there by mistake. That's
250 times a year.
Is that the right math?
250 shows, yeah.
Okay.
It's in my contract.
There, yeah.
I know how many shows I do a year. We're here. Glad you are as well. Out there making a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. We are live from the Raising Cane studio in downtown Baton Rouge. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. We will get some bowl projections, some more of what Saints head coach Ellen Moore had to say on Monday after he met with reporters. Saints heading into the bye off a win, which is certainly good. Get to our college football takeaways as well. Jimmy's here for Otter Locks a bit later. The biggest storyline, no doubt, to come out of Saturday night for LSU was that it is an unavoidable conversation now. You have a 2-quarterback system. And you know the old adage, if you have 2 quarterbacks, then you don't have one. And that certainly is where LSU stands. And it is so massively disappointing that the season has gone the way that it has. Garrett Nussmeier entered with Cade Klubnik, kind of his co-favorites for the Heisman Trophy, the leading returning passer in college football, a guy that was projected to be a first-round pick. Some had him on the board potentially as the first overall pick, and this has just been a miserable season. If you want to trace it back to whatever the oblique torso thing was he dealt with in fall camp, how much did it limit him? That's certainly up for debate. We'll probably find that out whenever he heads to the combine. They go through the full physical. But what's undeniable at this point is that LSU offensively through 9 games, you just are what you are. And what you are is a very bad offensive team. 127th in the country in rushing offense, 96th in scoring offense, 59th in passing. And Garrett Nussmeier has been your quarterback through all that. And so the quarterback naturally is going to get more credit than they normally deserve, more blame than they normally deserve, and that's the case with Garrett. My contention all along, with Garrett this year has been he has certainly been part of the problem. I don't think he is the biggest part of the problem. I don't think Garrett Nussmeier forgot how to throw the football. You can talk all you want about arm strength accuracy. Certainly looked good on that 20-yarder to Xavier Thomas, the 16-yarder to Nick Anderson. He showed some zip and some of the things that have made him Garrett Nussmeier. I think the biggest problem, the domino that has fallen, has been a really bad offensive line that has caused Garrett Nussmeier to be pressured and battered and bludgeoned all season. The inability to run. You didn't have that last year. Not that dissimilar from Alabama this year, a team that can't run the football, but they're really elite at receiver, and they have a quarterback playing at an exceptionally high level, and they keep him clean. LSU has not been able to keep Garrett Nussmeier upright in a clean pocket, and that has had a domino effect on everything they do. And clearly, be it Joe Sloan calling plays or Alex Atkins calling plays, they have a scheme issue that is not conducive for the skill set that they have this year. That's a fact. There's just no arguing that 9 games in. And so, as Frank Wilson said leading up to the game last week, that if there was an opportunity to play Michael Van Buren situationally that made sense, they would. My contention was I thought they'd have a package. They'd use him in a spot, 5 to 7 snaps. But in the third quarter, after the first possession of the third quarter, when LSU had a 1st and goal at the 8, and then the disaster sequence that followed, the delay of game on Nussmeier, burning the timeout after the delay of game, then taking the 14-yard sack against a 3-man rush where he needed to step up. Instead, he retreated and spun right into a sack. That was it for Garrett Nussmeier. He was replaced by Michael Van Buren. And to be perfectly honest, Van Buren wasn't much better. I know where fans fall on this. The fans are ready for a change. Overwhelmingly, you are all ready to see Michael Van Buren. And that's fine. I'm not defending Garrett Nussmeier. He has not objectively not been good this year. But neither has the line, and neither is the running game, and neither is the play calling. And all of those things are still going to be in place for Michael Van Buren, which mean you're still going to be a bad offense. Like you saw with Van Buren in the second half. He completed less than 50% of his passes. He had a turnover. He did some nice things. There was a 3rd and 11, and he ran for what looked like a first down, or 3rd and 10. He ran for what looked like a first down and slid. They reviewed it, slid just short of the mark. I hated that they reviewed that and pulled it, and reversed it, because he did what you want a quarterback to do in that situation, which is slide. And now, with that review going the way it did, next time he's more than likely not going to slide. Anyway, I don't want to get distracted. But the point is, your offense wasn't any better with Michael Van Buren. The only possession that he led where you got points was after the Harold Perkins strip sack fumble, where you got the ball at their 38 and you didn't move the ball, you settled for a field goal. So, it's what it is. It doesn't matter if it's Nussmeier or Van Buren. The offense isn't going to be good. I do have an idea of maybe how this plays out. I'll share with you in a second. But Frank Wilson met with reporters on Monday, and first question out the chute was from Wilson Alexander about who the starting quarterback was going to be.
For the quarterback position, I thought both of them did some good things. I thought both of those guys did things that need to be improved upon. I thought Garrett at times was spectacular. He started off red hot. He did some really good things for us. I felt at the back end we needed a spark and something to get us going and add another dimension to our game. I thought Michael stepped in and gave those things to us as a football team. As of now, nothing has drastically changed in how we have flowed. Outside of the fact, like last week, I'll say to you, we're going to use everything that we have, and both of those guys will play in this game moving forward.
So Frank didn't disclose there who the starter would be, only that both would play. I asked a follow-up, and I said, how would you distribute the reps with the first team this week in practice?
You know, I thought Garrett did well enough at times to still be in position to be the starter as we start and embark upon this weekend. So when we go to corrections today and practice tomorrow, he'll be the first guy that goes in.
Okay. So Garrett Nussmeier is still the starter, and both guys are going to play this weekend. I get it. I don't like it, but I understand it, and it's probably the right decision. And I understand that might sound like a contradiction, but just because something might be the right decision doesn't mean that I like it. Because I see this two ways. Number one, this season has been awful. It started with so much expectation. An expectation initially that was matched with the win over Clemson. You got it to number 3 in the country. The defense looked like maybe the best defense in college football. And, I mean, that wasn't just like an LSU take. Remember Kirk Herbstreit, after that first month of the season, said he thought LSU was the best team in the country. I mean, all the odds, playoff odds were all right there. And it's just unraveled because the offense never found its footing, and the defense has been exposed by running quarterbacks. That's just the reality. But I look at Garrett Nussmeier in his time at LSU, and this is a guy in an era where guys don't stay, especially at that position. They leave. Portal allows it. NIL almost demands it of a lot of different guys in different situations. But Garrett Nussmeier, who has led a nomadic young life because of his dad as a coach, always claimed Louisiana and wanted to be the LSU starting quarterback. He could have transferred, didn't. He could have gone pro after last year, stayed, because he wanted to be the LSU quarterback and wanted to lead LSU to a championship. And so came back this year as a fifth season, looking to build upon what he did a year ago, adding all the portal pieces to make a run at a championship. And it has just been awful. And so I know where the fans stand on this deal with Nussmeier. But the thing that I would strongly encourage you to consider is this is an era where fans bemoan the lack of loyalty. I hear it every day. I would suggest there's not a single media member anywhere that makes themselves more available to their audience than me. I pay thousands of dollars for this text line so you can text me whenever you want. On top of Twitter and Instagram and email and all the comments that I get at all the time, all the places. Morning scone every day. Like, I am readily available to hear what you have to say. And I hear all the time fans complain about the lack of loyalty, how the portal is ruining college football, how guys don't stay. Well, here's a guy that is a complete contrast to everything that you hate about this current era of college football. This is a guy who loves wearing that uniform, wanted to win for this school. I understand he's paid very well, but stayed here and cares enough that when it's not working, he's emotional on the sideline. You can say whatever you want about that. That's the thing you claim to want. He does it, and you crap on it. I understand it's not been a great season, but you got 2 games left in Tiger Stadium. Arkansas, and then senior day against Western Kentucky. Your season is lost. You're playing for nothing. I would like to see Garrett Nussmeier get an opportunity to play his final 2 games in Tiger Stadium. That's what I would like to see. A lot of you are ready to just dump on him because it's been a bad year and you want to move on to what's next. Okay. I also very much can understand and appreciate that Michael Van Buren could be your starter next year. And you got 3 more games to find out if that's something that looks like a plausible option. Y'all, I watched Michael Van Buren through fall camp. He was not good. Every day was not good. I'm talking passing against air, missing receivers. They held that walkthrough scrimmage the Saturday before Clemson. There was a lot of friends and family who were there, a lot of boosters and all. Everyone who was in that stadium who left had that same reaction because Van Buren was not good. Now, it's true some guys struggle in practice and are really good in games. But I think overwhelmingly, fans who saw Michael Van Buren against Southeastern went, oh, look how great he is. And what I tried to caution you then was he went in a game up 6 touchdowns against an FCS school. Yeah, it looked pretty good. Now, I'm not saying Van Buren isn't an option. I know that's a double negative. I'm not saying Van Buren won't ever be the starter. I know that's a double negative. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the sample size we've seen of Michael Van Buren in practice has not been good. He wasn't good on Saturday, despite a lot of you just leaning into confirmation bias because you want him to play. And so you're going to highlight the things that he did well and ignore the things he did poorly, like not leading a touchdown drive, fumbling late in the ball game, missing an open Kyle Parker, which was overturned, throwing wide to an open Xavion Thomas, which Xavion made a great catch. Like, you're going to ignore all that because it's confirmation bias. Again, the exciting part about Van Buren is he has a skill set where you could say, man, that guy can keep growing, developing, and could be a really good player. By the way, that was the knock on Jaden Daniels when he came here, was he was inaccurate. He left here as one of the most accurate passers we've ever seen in college football. So, yeah, guys are allowed to improve, and the same is true for Michael Van Buren. And you have a 3-game opportunity here to get him reps and game action to see if he might be someone who could be that for you next year. And I'm not opposed to that. I understand that's the reality of what's going to happen. But the thought in my brain that disgusts me right now is that I know what's going to happen on Saturday. Nussmeier is going to start. At some point, they'll punt. He'll throw an incomplete pass. And some of you, a lot of you, unfortunately, I think, whoever bothers to show up, are going to boo. And then at some point, Van Buren's going to go in the game. And when he does, some of you, a lot of you, are going to cheer raucously. And that sucks. I get it. There's nothing I say here that's going to change that. But it doesn't mean I have to like it. But what I will say is, for everyone today who's crapping on Garrett Nussmeier, I don't ever want to hear from you ever again about loyalty in college football. Check that tired argument at the door. I don't ever want to hear you bemoan again players that aren't loyal, players that leave, the portal, NIL, any of that stuff. Because you have maybe the single most shining example of a guy who wanted to bleed for this school and play at that program because that was always a dream and a goal. And because it hasn't gone well here in this final year, you all are crapping on it. And that is hypocrisy at its worst. So, I know I sound preachy. I know Van Buren's going to play, and I hope he does awesome. The only thing that I would strongly encourage you to do is if you're in the stadium, you're on social media, whatever it may be, at least respect what Garrett Nussmeier has meant to this program because he's meant an awful lot to it. And it sucks the way that it's going to finish for him. I don't think there's anybody that thinks that sucks more than Garrett Nussmeier does. But if you go in that stadium on Saturday and you boo Garrett Nussmeier, I don't ever want to hear you come at me again about loyalty, how the portal and NIL is ruining college football. Okay, there's my sermon. We've had church. I'll go read my text line now in the break, and all of you will crap on me because that's what you do. It's AFR.
AFR.
Let's Rev. R-E-V. Let'sRev.com. Let'sRev.com. Hey, it doesn't matter if it's for your home or for your business. Rev serves more than 70,000 clients in Louisiana, home and office. Hey, over at Parish Construction and Roofing, we're a Rev Internet customer. Here at Guarantee Media, we are a Rev Internet customer. And, of course, high-speed internet. If you do cable, if you do home automation, they can do all that for you. But the best part about Rev, y'all, they're local. They've been local for 90 years. 90 years, y'all. 9 decades. So when you call Rev, you call their call center, it's not a call center overseas. It's not AI. It's not a computer automation. You're talking to a human right here in our market. Go to letsrev.com, letsrev.com. And they're backed by an all-fiber network. Means it's buried under the ground. REV. Letsrev.com. Letsrev.com.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. And oh, we do shutters too.
Muse, what the hell is that? Come on.
This says, chill, pop, beat.
Delete it forever.
Blue
I
skies.
never want to hear that again. That's awful. Give me some energy, man. It's Monday. Saints got to win, huh?
This is soothing.
Turn it off right now. Turn it off. All the way off. Quickly. Thank you. I don't want that ever again. Delete it. Delete it. I am actually a little, maybe pleasantly surprised by the reaction to my Nussmeier sermon. Probably should have played church music under it. Chris said your message needs to be pumped by every show all week. Stadium needs to stand with us even though he's struggling. James said, thank you for supporting the Nussmeier, giving his whole heart to LSU. Appreciate the kind words. Seth said, facts, Matt. It's not a QB issue. If fans are going to boo, they should boo Brad Davis. Sam said, hell no, perfect sermon, dead on. Dramatic pause at the end was on point. I'm surprised. I mean, I figured I'd get a lot of flack for that. Listen, man, I'm never. I tell you all the time that when it comes to your free time and your disposable income, I'm never going to tell you what to do, and I mean that sincerely. I will never tell you got to show up to the game. If you want to buy your tickets and use them for toilet paper, okay. If you want to show up early and leave late, or show up late and leave early, okay. If you want to sell your tickets to the other fan base and make a profit, okay. I will never sit here. It would be so hypocritical of me to tell you what to do with your time and money. I don't want anybody telling me what to do with my time and money. I like to buy whiskey and sneakers. I like to spend Sunday night after we put Drew down in my outdoor kitchen, smoking a cigar, having a glass of wine, watching Sunday Night Football. That's how I unwind or reset for the next week. I don't care what anyone thinks of that. That's my time. So you do you. Everyone should, I'm never going to sit here and say, if you're a real fan, you should show up and be like, no, you do you. If you want to go and sit on your hands, you do you. I just have, I know how it's going to go. And there will be the fans who say, I'm not booing the player, I'm booing the coach, or booing the decision. Or you can say whatever you want, man. We all know what the reality is and how it's going to be received. You know, it's just been a crappy year. And it sucks, but that's life. Sports is a great teacher. It's a great reflection of how life goes sometimes. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Sometimes everything's on a silver platter and it looks like it's going to be great and it doesn't work out at the end. That's life. Sometimes life kicks you in the ass, and how you handle adversity is a great way to define who you are as a person. And there are greater tragedies in life than losing football games. Absolutely fact. So I get it. I just hate the thought of fans booing Garrett Nussmeier and cheering raucously when he's replaced on Saturday, which is going to happen. That's going to happen. He's going to be replaced at some point. If it's good play, bad play, just rotating quarterbacks, however Frank decides to do it, that's going to be because I know the fan sentiment right now. You're ready. You're ready for a change. And I'm not saying you're wrong altogether. I also don't believe that change is going to net you great results because this offense isn't good. It's just functionally a broken offense. So, now look, Arkansas is atrocious defensively. So you have that kind of going for you a little bit. But they're probably sitting there thinking, hey, LSU's awful offensively. So maybe we got a shot. Because Arkansas can score, man. Arkansas is averages 35 a game. And points against, they are 125th in the country in scoring defense. There are 136 teams that play FBS football. Arkansas is 125th in points against. So as bad as you are offensively, they are equally as bad or worse defensively. So that's going to be bad on bad when LSU has the football. We'll see how it goes. All right. This is After Further Review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. By the way, Tigers, Arkansas is 2-7, y'all. They won their first two games against Alabama, A&M, Arkansas State. They have not won since. They've lost 7 straight games. They've had some opportunities. Lost a 3-point game to Mississippi State. Lost a close game at home to Auburn. Y'all, they had A&M on the ropes. That was a 45-42 game up there in Fayetteville. They lost by 3 to Tennessee, 34-31. They had the Memphis game in hand and gagged it away late with a late turnover. So, they can move the ball and they can score. They turn it over a ton and they're awful on defense. So LSU's a 6.5-point favorite in that game. And you should win at home, but LSU defensively, the Achilles heel has been the inability to stop a running quarterback. And Taylor Green is as good as any at that. And their defense is terrible, but your offense has been really bad. So is there an opportunity to go make plays? I don't know. We'll talk more about the Arkansas game as we move through the week. All right, bowl projections are out. I do want to get to that. Let me remind you about the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020. 924-2020. Hey, if you want to see 2020, call 924-2020. Remember, we're nearing the end of the year. So if you have HSA or FSA funds that will expire at the end of the year, don't let those funds expire. Call the Williamson Eye Center. Go have that consultation with Dr. Blake. Ditch the contacts and glasses forever. Maybe it's LASIK. Maybe it's PRK. Maybe it's EVO ICL, which is an implantable contact lens. That's an ICL. That's an alternative to LASIK for people who are nearsighted. Maybe you're farsighted. You're doing that thing where you need readers, or you gotta hold your phone or the paper away like this and do the squinchy face so you can see the paper on you. You can stop doing that forever. Dr. Blake has an option no matter your age or your refractive issue. Call the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. All right, a lot of bowl projections right now that the calendar's flipped to November. Keeping an eye on, where LSU could land. Of course, the Tigers are at 5 wins, so they're not yet bowl eligible, which is wild that you're into November and LSU's not bowl eligible yet. But you do have the game this week against Arkansas, and then you've got next week against Western Kentucky. So you're going to be favored in your next 2 home games. Hopefully you win them both. You get to 7, and then we'll see what happens when they go on the road to Oklahoma. Although, against that defense, hard to be optimistic. Oklahoma might be the best defense in the SEC when they're healthy and right. You got to play the game on the road, and Oklahoma could well be playing for a playoff spot, depending on what happens this week with Oklahoma in Tuscaloosa. But it's basically a clean sweep. Kyle Bonagura over at ESPN has LSU in the Gator Bowl. Now, remember, part of the thing that may work in LSU's favor as far as a better bowl game is that a handful of SEC teams may make the playoff. So if you have A&M, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, maybe another school like Ole Miss, which I think is going to be in. Vanderbilt is a 2-loss team right now. Vanderbilt beats Kentucky and Tennessee. They finished 10-2 and could well be in there. You could be talking about 5 or 6 SEC teams with a legitimate case to be made to be in the playoff, which means all of the SEC bowl tie-ins, if you lose 5 or 6 teams off the top, then everybody kind of moves up. So it's why it's interesting to see Kyle Bonagura project LSU to play Virginia in the Gator Bowl. But everyone else, Mark Schleybaugh, Brian Fisher at SI, Steve Lasson over at Athlon, CBS Sports, College Football News, all of them have, 4 of them have LSU in the Music City Bowl. Brad Crawford over at CBS has LSU back in the Texas Bowl against Houston. So it's not going to be a palatial Christmas or New Year's destination for LSU in a bowl game, but Gator Bowl, Music City, Texas is kind of what you're looking at right there. I know nobody's thinking about that right now, but something we need to start thinking about as we move toward the end of November when bowl destinations will be handed out. All right, it's After Further Review. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. They do it all. They do it better than anyone. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Quick break. Muse, Paulie, and I will do our college football takeaways. Then we'll get to Jimmy for Otter Locks. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
I done told you. I know that's not proper grammar. Don't care. I done told you. I done told you that cold weather was going to come. You were going to crank on that heater. And before you did, you need to call River City's 1 Hour Air. Did you do it? I know, you're just squirming in your seat a little bit right now. But don't worry. It's not too late. You can still call River City's 1 Hour Air. Have them come by and do that heater safety check. Highly recommend you do this. Listen, there's 3 reasons primarily. Number 1, it's going to extend the life of your unit. That's important. Like, you want your heater to last so you don't have to spend a lot of money to replace it. Regular, just like your vehicle. Regular maintenance, like changing the oil, you want to have annual maintenance on your heater. Number 2, it'll lower your energy bills. By making it more efficient, if it's running more efficiently, it's going to lower your energy bills. And then number 3, and most importantly, it's going to keep your home and your family safe. Heater safety check from River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001.
After Further Review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. And we do shutters too.
They're calling it Peloton Statement Saturday this weekend. No, seriously. I just got that in my inbox from ESPN's PR. So they've named the weekend Statement Saturday, and it's sponsored by Peloton. Respect. I mean, we are an ad-based model here as well. We rely on great sponsors. This feels a little aggressive, naming the weekend and then sponsoring the named weekend.
It's forced. It's so forced.
A little bit. I mean, I get it. Sometimes you got to guarantee impressions and eyeballs, and you're building a package. You know, you say to Peloton, here we're building out the package for you.
Who's got the sponsored head coach? Like, their head coaching positions named for somebody who paid for it to be named for them?
Yeah, Northwestern?
Maybe. Yeah, that's what this feels like to me.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this feels like to me.
The Peloton Statement Saturday.
Bro,
and you know what? They've gotten a bunch of mentions for Peloton here.
I know. There's no alliteration. Like, it's just...
Statement Saturday's alliteration.
Yeah, but... I get why they did it. Like, I understand why they did it.
Yeah. By the way, it'll be Taylor Zarzar, Matt Stinchcomb, and Alyssa Lang on the call in Baton Rouge at 11:45 a.m. on the SEC Network Saturday. Just got that into the inbox.
Shout out.
Great team there.
Yeah.
I don't know Taylor Zarzar. Matt Stinchcomb has been on the show a bunch over the years, and Alyssa Lang's awesome. So glad to have them in BR this weekend. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful morning on Saturday. Have we looked at weather yet?
I haven't.
It'll be cold tomorrow. I don't love that. I don't love this at all.
Bro, I was in a bad
Saturday, high of 78, low of 58.
That's perfect.
Should be nice.
Yeah, that's
sunny.
perfect.
Sunny. Rain coming on Sunday.
Oh, man.
A little bit of a future cast there. But anyway, looks like it'll be a nice Saturday in Tiger Stadium. All right, it's After Further Review. Muse, Paulie, and I, we do 3 college football takeaways each after the college football weekend. We call it college football takeaways. Hit it.
Another week in the books. What did we learn about the landscape of college football?
All right, Muse, fire away there with your first one and tell us about Fernando Mendoza.
Heisman moment. Really kind of the first one we've seen this year, it feels like, man. That was an incredible drive. So if you weren't watching the game, you've by now seen the touchdown catch. But let me just set it up for you. Penn State, 24-20 lead, minute 15 to go. Indiana gets the ball back, no timeout, starting on their own 20. They got to go 80 yards. Mendoza takes a sack on first down. 2nd and 17.
Yeah, we all saw it. Okay, are you going to get to Gus Johnson or not?
I am. 22 yards. They were off and running. Showed great poise. He's awesome. I think he's the best quarterback in college football.
We got it. Yeah,
and then
great.
Gus Johnson completely
You have the audio?
Ruined. I'm getting it right now.
You need me to do it.
Yes, I need you to do it.
Yeah.
Ruined the touchdown call.
You should have had this, Muse. Come on. Wait, here we go.
In trouble! It's out!
What Gus Johnson said?
Gus Johnson. I get it. People love him or hate him. But he ruined that call. He ruined it. He broke. His voice, he was so over the top, his voice completely gave out on it.
Oh my God. I missed it. When I called you for game day, you were like, go look at my Twitter right now. You have to hear this. It's atrocious.
God.
That's the first time I heard that. That's bad.
Dynamite drop in, Monty.
That was awful.
Oh my God. I love you, Paul.
My takeaway is the ACC is a mess. Virginia picked up a tough luck loss. Louisville lost to Cal in overtime. So we're back to Georgia Tech being the highest ranked ACC team. Miami's also back to having a shot at the ACC championship and the playoff. So there are now 5 ACC teams with 1 conference loss.
Oregon.
Unbelievable.
They beat Iowa in the rain and cold, 18-16. A game they probably had no business winning, but good teams find a way to win. Ducks 8-1. Man, tell you what, with a home loss to Indiana, had they lost that game to Iowa, you've been teetering there, Oregon. They keep the hope alive.
Speaking of keeping hope alive, North Carolina, they've won 2 in a row. Now 2 games away from bowl eligibility.
North Carolina.
It won't be easy, but look, Gio Lopez is starting to play better. Their offensive line's playing better. I get it. It was Syracuse and Stanford. I understand. At Wake Forest, Duke, at NC State. That's their final 3. Let's see if they can get to 6 wins in Bill Belichick's first season.
Mizzou's playoff chances are pretty much done.
No,
so
they're
I'm
done.
turning my focus to Eli Drinkwitz.
What are you doing?
Shifting my
I'm
focus.
turning my... Your what?
I didn't even,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So A&M knocked off Missouri. 3rd loss. This pretty much felt inevitable. Missouri's been knocking on the door the last 2 years. Like I said, now I'm going to do it again.
Oh, Paul, come on.
Now my shift.
Land the plane.
My focus is shifting to Eli Drinkwitz.
Got it.
He's going to have a lot of suitors. Will he take another SEC job? Will he leave Missouri? He'll have a fascinating November ahead.
I don't know if I should talk about Vanderbilt or Auburn.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt winning is massively consequential because they're 8-2, 4-2 in the league. They've got Kentucky and Tennessee remaining. If they win their next 2 games, they're 10-2, and we've all just assumed you're 10-2, you're in the playoff. But they were teetering. They needed overtime to beat Auburn and a late touchdown to rally. Or they allowed Auburn the late touchdown to rally to send the game to overtime, and then Vandy ultimately won it in overtime. But my goodness, Auburn. Like, how many... The hideout play against Oklahoma, gagging away the game against Missouri. I just go through the schedule and think, man, the A&M game, like, Auburn was... like this close to being like a 7-win team right now, and instead their coach is fired. They just can't win a game. Whatever. All right, so Missouri, Vandy still very much playoff alive. Very much playoff alive.
I mean, the conference race that nobody's talking about is the American, and no one's going to be talking about it pretty much from here on out because I think they might have lost their chance to send a team to the playoff with that Tulane and Memphis game. Unless North Texas wins this league, the conference champion is going to have multiple losses. I mean, South Florida's got the Power 4 win against Florida, but I don't know if that's enough, man. I mean, everyone else except North Texas, 2 losses. We just all assumed it'd be the American. It doesn't look like it's going to be. Paul?
As Musso mentioned there, the American, I'm keeping my eye on James Madison because they remain undefeated in the Sun Belt after they beat Marshall. Like you said, the Americans kind of beating up on themselves. Keep an eye on the Dukes, who have won 7 in a row. If JMU keeps winning, the Dukes could be in the playoffs in just their 4th FBS season.
Oh, by the way, I just mentioned a smidge ago that Vandy's still very much alive for the playoff. Have you seen whose odds for the Heisman Trophy have skyrocketed? Diego Pavia is now 20-1. I'm not saying, because Julian's saying they're likely going to win out, and he's likely going to win it. And Mendoza's right behind him.
Yeah.
But then you have a trio of SEC quarterbacks. Ty Simpson, and Alabama's got a shot to win out. Marcel Reed and A&M, if they can beat Texas and Austin, they should win out. And then Diego Pavia is there at 20-1 following him. If they win out, all I'm saying is November is when you tend to see teams choke when they can't handle the pressure of being front runners. You almost saw it with Fernando Mendoza this week in Indiana. This close to losing on the road to Penn State. That might have been their scare. I'm just saying. These guys, any of these guys saying Mendoza, like, they go and grab the throat. Ohio State can't beat Michigan. So
It's true. They can't.
I'm just saying, man.
Bama's got Oklahoma.
Marcel Reed, Diego Pavia are all right there. Three SEC quarterbacks, third, fourth, and fifth in the odds right now behind Sain and Mendoza, just lurking, ready to jump up and steal that little stiff arm trophy. Let's keep an eye on it. All right. Those are college football takeaways. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems, arco.com, arco.com, ARCCO, arco.com. Man, so impressive learning about Arco Power Systems as I have in these few months that we've been able to tell you about them, because they serve and have served for 4 decades businesses all over the region. And when we talk about Arco Power Systems, this is Generac Industrial Energy. These are generators. These are Generac generators, but not for your home. This is not home standby generators. This is for your business. Like here at Guarantee Media, we have this big giant building. On the back of our building, we have a standby generator. The power goes out, we can't go off air, right? What would a power outage mean for your business? You have to have a plan. You need Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com. They just signed a lease in Houston. They go as far west as San Antonio, Mobile. They head up to Little Rock, Dallas, Austin. They're everywhere. And they serve every industry you can imagine. Nursing homes, grocery chains, hospitals, hotels, banks, chemical plants, gas stations, universities, governments, municipalities. If you need standby power, you need Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com, ARCCO, arco.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Putting a button here, or getting close to the end of the show. We'll knock out our final break, come back. Jimmy, I don't know what he's doing, but he just sent us the picks, so he can't jump aboard with us. No worries. So we'll knock out our final break. We'll come back here. We'll give you Otters picks. They're up at louisianasports.net. And I guess since no Jimmy, we have an opportunity for what we learned. Something that we said we would do every day for a lot of years and then just never did. But we can actually do it. So, guys, be prepared for what we learned. We'll do that to wrap up next on AFR.
AFR.
Man, it was great having Gordon on the show from Court to Table last week. Always enjoy visiting with Gordon McKernan, and always love telling you about Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, not just because of all the great work they do in the NIL space, which is certainly beneficial to LSU and all sports because of their investment into that NIL space, but the many different ways that Gordon gives back. Really excited. They just sent out the press release. Gordon's going to be giving away 600 bicycles this holiday season all across the state of Louisiana for less fortunate children to have a brighter Christmas. You want to learn more, you can go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, getgordon.com. 600 free bikes. Registration is open now. It's on all their socials. If you want to see the registration form, go to @getgordon on any of their socials and find out how you can win one of 600 free bikes this Christmas. Get Gordon, get it done.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and we do shutters too.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. Windows, door siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters too. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Typically, right here is where we do Otter locks. I was going to say the Otter lock open. Don't worry about it. You don't have to hit there. Jimmy can't be with us. I don't know what he's doing, but he just sent us a text and was like, here's the picks. They're on the website, but I can't join you. So I'll run through Otter's picks here. He has a Monday Night Football pick and a college basketball play. So, again, free, always free, everything free over at louisianasports.net. Bookmark it. Go there every single day, louisianasports.net. So, Jimmy on Monday Night Football likes the Philadelphia Eagles, plus 1.5. And on the hardwood, he's got Mississippi State, plus 5.5. Mississippi State taking on Iowa State tonight. I think that one's in Ames. I don't know if it's a neutral site or if it's in Ames, but they're on the road. But anyway, so Jimmy's got Monday Night Football with the Eagles and Mississippi State, plus 5.5. We're going to get to what we learned here in just a quick second. We are brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Doesn't matter if you want 20 acres to build your family's dream home, 1,000 acres for agriculture, 100 acres, that hunting property, that recreational property. We're getting near the end of the year. Maybe talk to your CPA. See if that's a great investment, good tax strategy. Have that conversation. Look, it's dirt. They ain't making no more of it. I don't think Columbus is going to sail the ocean blue and find some new land that we're unaware of. Feels like it's all spoken for at this point. So, could be a great investment. First South Farm Credit can help you buy land. So go to firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. All right, we'll get to what we learned here. Musso, what'd you learn?
I learned that Kenny Dillingham's wife's very competitive and wants to win championships.
Yeah. Although he didn't really answer the question about not coaching anywhere else. Just said his wife lives next door. Or his wife's mom, his wife lives with him.
Yeah.
But his sister's next door. His parents like 3 doors, saying all that stuff. Paulie, what'd you learn today?
I learned that Gus Johnson had a terrible touchdown call in the Indiana game.
I can't believe. Are you the only human who didn't know that that's a thing that happened?
I did not know that.
How in the world? Do you just not ever go on Twitter?
Not so much on the weekend, no.
Man, that's when I live on Twitter.
I love Twitter. What'd you learn, Matt?
Yeah. Oh, I learned LSU's going to play a basketball game tonight against UNO. That would be Master P's UNO Privateers. You darn right. Let's go. Had no idea.
Yep, it's not.
Hunt just tweeted out his 3 things to watch for the LSU basketball game tonight and didn't even know. So I looked it up. Keep that rolling. Yeah. LSU's a 19.5-point favorite. How do we feel about it? They covered with ease against Tarleton State.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like LSU to win. UNO, though,
of course they're going to win.
No, I'm going to say they don't cover.
No cover.
No cover.
All right, Muse. Have a great night.
After further review.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the Relief Windows logo. Well, of course, we love Relief Windows. But I got to remind you about Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. That's where you can go to the website to find out more. But here's one thing I've learned, certainly, in our relationship with our friends at Our Lady of the Lake. When it comes to healthcare, people primarily want 2 things. You want access and you want convenience. You want to be able to see the doctor you want to see, and you want to be able to do so in a convenient fashion. Our Lady of the Lake puts that at the center of how they approach healthcare. World-class healthcare where you have access and convenience. And it doesn't matter if it's the Regional Medical Center, any of the Lake After Hours, or any of the other great facilities as part of the FMOL health system. It's Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar.